Hey guys, if you noticed, I haven't posted a video in a couple weeks. I usually try to do one like once a week. I think it's been 2, maybe even 3 at this point. But it's because I started wanting to work on a little bit of a, I guess like a rebrand of the podcast. And if you've seen my channel, you've noticed there's like a new logo, like a new profile photo and a new like banner and a new name. And previously, the name of the podcast was Reformed and Charismatic, and it is now the Aaron Running Podcast. And there's a few reasons for that, or I should say a couple reasons for that. But I would say that I have not changed my stance on those topics. I am still Reformed. I still go to a Reformed church. I still belong to a Reformed denomination. And I still am a continuationist, which is just another word for charismatic. It's kind of funny. I actually was considering using continuationist in my original name for the podcast instead of charismatic, but charismatic is a little more well-known, so I figured it would be better to use that. And so, but yeah, continuationist just means that I believe that the miraculous gifts of the Spirit listed in Scripture have continued and are continuing to this day. And so I still believe that. So I guess you could still say I am Reformed and Charismatic. But there was a reason why I felt like I needed to change the name of the podcast. And that was, one, I felt like I was limiting myself to those 2 topics by having it in the title. And, I wanted to maybe explore some different topics. And I also wanted to maybe have on some guests that weren't in either camp, right? They weren't like Reformed or Charismatic. But I felt kind of like before I had to have that. So I think I'll have a little more freedom with this new name and title, just the Aaron Running Podcast, which is my name. And yeah, this is my podcast. So also, it's because when I first started the podcast, I started it with my friend Joseph, and he recently, well, I guess not so recent anymore, but just couldn't do the podcast anymore because he just didn't have the time. He got very busy with just family stuff, work, and ministry. We're still good friends. We still talk all the time. He just didn't have time for the podcast. So I felt a little weird continuing to run it under the same name and same like logo and everything when we had started it originally. Now, all those old videos that I did are still on this channel. So they're still available. I'm just changing my name. That's all. And so you can honestly expect that a lot of the topics are probably going to be similar to what I was doing before because that's what I like to talk about. But I will have some other topics that I would like to discuss that don't necessarily fall in between those 2 topics. And maybe some more guests on that I felt maybe I couldn't have on before because they weren't Reformed or Charismatic. So yeah, that's pretty much the reasons why I changed the name and the logo. I also do want to give a shout out to my good friend Chris Jenkins. He's the one that actually designed the logo for me and like the YouTube banner. I did something myself. I did the last one myself. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. And so I did like a new one. It wasn't that great. I kind of like reached out to him and I was like, I don't know. I kind of threw some ideas out there and he just like took off with it and just did an amazing job. And yeah, I think it looks way better than anything I would have done. So I'm going to put the link for his website in the description. If you have any graphic design needs, just hit him up. I mean, he is great. You can see what he did with my logo, and then on his website, he has a bunch of other examples of stuff that he's worked on as well. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys for subscribing. I know a lot of you originally followed me because you liked the idea of the Reformed and Charismatic. You reached out to me and told me that you just like searched Reformed and Charismatic in YouTube or Spotify, and my podcast was the one that came up, which is cool. I didn't really plan on that. I'm not that smart. I can promise you guys that. I wasn't very creative in making that. I just didn't know what else to call it originally. And even in my new podcast title, I would say it's not very creative, right? It's just my name, Aaron Running. But I just want to appreciate you guys for sticking with me, for watching my videos, for liking, for subscribing, for leaving comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do that. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. And also give a thumbs up too on this video or any other ones that you watch that you haven't done so. And for this video specifically, please leave a comment if you have any questions for me, if that I can help clarify. Like like I said, I haven't changed my stance on those things, but maybe if you need more clarification, I'd be happy to answer those. And also, if there's like any subjects that you want me to cover, let me know. Or any like guest that you would like for me to interview in the future, I would love to be introduced. So I want to get back to regularly posting videos. And I just appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you coming along for the ride. And have a good rest of your night. God bless.